welcome. This is Bliss to Abundance. I'm your host, Cindy Williams, and today we have the coolest topic for you. We're going to be talking about camera equipment, travel vlogging. So we're going to get into it here in just in a second, but first of all, if it's your first time joining the live stream, I want to say welcome. I'm so glad that you found us. My name is Cindy Williams. I'm known as the Wanderlust CEO or the Travel Career Coach. And my purpose and mission in life is to help people follow their bliss into abundance. Mostly the way that I do that is I help people launch and grow their own portable, profitable travel agencies. So today we're going to be right on topic with talking about what's in my travel vlogging kit. I was kind of going through my list of topics for our shows this month, and I was like, oh, I like to be inspired about what I'm going to talk about. I was like, we're getting ready to do this huge trip and go to Orlando for over 4 weeks this summer to do a whole bunch of live streaming, gather video content, pictures, tours, all that good stuff. And I thought, let's share what's in our kit. So for those of you who don't know me, I also always share, I have an insane coffee mug collection. This is not my coffee mug, but isn't it cool? I totally stole this from my husband. This is the Skull Island Reign of Kong coffee mug, and it's funny because it has lipstick on it, and my husband would just cringe at that because this is his mug, but my daughter is a little behind on dishes, so I had to use that one today. That one's from Universal. You can pick that up, so we'll probably be doing some videos over there. But first of all, I want to start this. We're going to get right into the session, and I want to talk about, you guys know I help you grow your travel agencies, right? So one of the things we really do an extensive job in our mastermind is we teach people how to come up with a video strategy and how to use video to turn it into reaching those ideal clients and turning it into conversions and profits for your travel agency. And you can start wherever you're at, first of all, but in the mastermind, know that we go a little more in depth. But at a minimum, what I really want to stress with you today is you can start with wherever you are. Most of our original video content really started with our phone. We started just with this guy right here, right? So if you are on a budget, don't think that you can't do video. That's exactly how we got started years ago, and now we have 2 award-winning YouTube channels, and you can too. You can do this. So I want to share with you kind of a basic setup where you can get started. And by the way, I'm going to be flipping back and forth to our different platforms to try to answer questions. If you guys have questions, go ahead and post them over on Facebook. Hey, I see Margie. She said, happy I could hop on this morning. Topic was just what I was pondering. That's so crazy. Hey, Jen, I see you joining us. Those are some of our grads from the mastermind. So they're ready for video because in the mastermind, we teach you how to work past your visibility blocks, right? That's the hardest part. But with your setup for wherever you're starting on your video vlogging, just remember, you don't have to overcomplicate this. I'm going to show you a ton of really cool stuff today. You can, you don't have to go out and get all of it. You literally can start with just your phone and a pop socket. Like, that's the first setup, right? So that's how I started, with just my phone without the pop socket. But if you are on a tight budget, I mean, like, you can get these at Target for $5 or $6, right? And throw it on there and you're good to go. So that can be your first video setup. Now, if you want to evolve your video game and you really want to get into travel vlogging a little heavier and make your video quality a little bit stronger, then I have the best kit for you. So let me show you what's in our actual kit that we are packing up. So, and I also want to say one thing first. What I share with you for traveling is not how I would share necessarily do your video at home. That would be something we teach in your mastermind, how to set up your home studio and things like that. But we're going to talk about travel vlogging today. So first thing I have is my phone and my pop socket. If I'm being the super laziest, really that's what I do. I slide my phone in my pocket, and I have a pop socket. Now, if you are at a place where you're thinking about a new phone or what phone's the best one, I mean, I have the iPhone X, and I've heard other phones are, you know, comparable video and camera quality wise. But whatever phone that you have, that's your first tool, right? Now, if I'm going to step it up, oh, I was going to say one thing about your phone. If you are really going to get into doing a lot of pictures, videos, room tours, things like that, you need to make sure you get a phone with lots of storage. When I went to the AT&T store, I was like, I need the one with the biggest storage. They're like, you don't need that. Like, that's the same storage as a computer has. I'm like, lady, you do not know me. You do not understand how many clouds I have filled up, how many, you know, things, how many terabytes of space I've already used with blogging. So if you're going to start, especially if you're going to be filming in some of the higher resolutions and things like that, if you're going to do it in 4K, I mean, that eats up your memory like crazy. And you don't really need to do 4K. You can do 1080 and you'll be totally fine. Or just, you know, if you're not a tech person, just hit record and go. So start with a phone, get some decent storage, and if you're using an older phone that doesn't have a ton of storage, you can move it, you can move your files over to an external hard drive, or you can move it over to a cloud to free that space up in your phone. I'm just super, like, I love having everything on my phone, because when you move stuff over from Instagram and other places, I like having my stuff all on there. I back it up to those places, but I still like keeping it on there. It's just old habit. So after your phone, the next thing that I love, these came out a few years ago. They're called Moment lenses, and this is the little logo there. So I have several of Moment lenses. One of my favorites is the Superfish lens. So both, and when you put a Moment lens on your phone, you do have to have this special case. So you'll notice there it says Moment lenses there. So what it allows you to do is to take the little lens, and you can, I love live video, because like, is it gonna work? You add it to your phone. So you have this nice little lens that automatically improves the quality of your video and your pictures, because you can film video or pictures. The only thing you can't do is you can't do the selfie style, right? But you can do some really cool stuff. So this is kind of my lazy setup. Like, if I'm being super lazy, I just take my phone. But normally I have this Moment lens and the nice little felt pouch it comes in my other pocket, so I can, you know, throw that on there and go. Now be careful if you're using this. You don't want to leave the lens on and have it in your pocket. You can crack your lens, or I've cracked a couple cases doing that, and the cases are, I think they're 20, 25 bucks if you have to replace them. But if you crack the little thing there, then you're done for. You have to get another case. So I love the Moment lenses. That's probably the easiest under $100 setup that you could do to start your travel vlogging. Super, super easy. Now, when I'm traveling, a couple other things that are always in my camera bag. I like to have a pop mic microphone. So this is an easy little microphone. It will go, and even if you are like, Cindy, I don't have a headphone jack, that's okay. You can use the little toggle that you can order if you have like an iPhone where it doesn't have the jack, right? You can get the little toggle that goes with it, and then you can clip this, and then you can run it right into your phone. So now I have, because that's the one thing with vlogging, most people have really terrible audio, and that really shows up, like, because especially if you're outside and there's wind and there's noise and there's people going by, your video, if you have bad video quality, people just don't want to watch it. So this is literally like 12 bucks, 12 or 13 bucks on Amazon, and a great little pickup to improve your sound quality. Now, a couple of other things that I love a good selfie stick. Now, full disclosure, if you're planning on going to Disney and some of the other theme parks, don't allow selfie sticks. But when you're in the hotels, or you're at Disney Springs, or doing property tours, you totally can use a selfie sticks. This one is called an XSX series. I just got this at Target one day, and I thought, oh, this is cute. But what I love about it is it has like this floaty end. Not that I've ever dropped my phone in the water, but it's light. Like, it's a light aluminum, and so I have little baby weak arms, and so I don't like stuff that's heavy. So this one is it's a little bit lighter. So it's one of those lenses that pops out, and then it has different attachments. So you can get a phone attachment to put your phone on it, or you can put an actual camera on it. And I'm going to show you my vlogging camera here in just a minute. So I like a good selfie stick. The other thing that I really like, there's a couple tripod choices. I like to have a tabletop tripod. I really like this one, and this one has a phone attachment on the top. If you unscrew this phone attachment, You can also use it pretty much on any standard camera too. But I use this one with my phone a lot, again, with the less stuff to carry. But what's great about this one is not only can I use it for a tabletop tripod to record, I can also hold it steady if I don't want to get out my gimbal. And I'll show you guys what a gimbal is here in a second. But this is like an under $20 solution. I think this is maybe 12 or 15 bucks on Amazon. And it's, again, it's lightweight, so it's easy to stick in your pocket. Now, if you're going to be in uncertain terrain or you're on the go, I really like these, I think they call these gorilla tripods, but you can move them. So you literally could, hook this to, the side of a dresser, off a curtain rod. You can hook it in so many different places if you're trying to get that right angle. And why that's a beautiful thing is regular tripods are heavy. This one is super lightweight, so you can put it on a stack of books. You can, attach it to whatever you can attach it to get your camera angle where you want it without bringing this guy, which I used to lug everywhere. Oh my gosh. Let me see if you guys can even see this. Hang on, I need to move over my Facebook real quick. So actually it's already all the way down. So I'm gonna do it this way. This is my Me Photo tripod, and I love it because it comes in different colors. You can get blue, pink, orange. I love purple, but this guy folds down to a pretty decent size. I mean, it's no more than like just over a foot. But it is a full tripod. It goes all the way out. So this comes in a nice little carrying case. It's easy to travel with, but it's heavy. So if I'm, I'll usually take it to, I'll take it out in the resort we're staying at, and I'll go down and make videos and things like that. If I don't have my kids with me and they can't use the other smaller tripods, I'll use this guy, but he's heavy. Like, I'm not dragging him into all-day adventures on a regular basis because that would add a lot of weight to our backpack. So depending on how short you are, how tall you are, all that good stuff, Explorer Travel TV Show says, great gear for vlogs. I've used anything from a phone to a GoPro to my bigger DSLR. Yes. Best thing is I just do it. Yes, it's so true. Like, you just have to get started. So let me see if that's everything in my basic travel. So equipment wise, that's everything in my basic for the phone setup. Okay, so now I'm going to talk about, if you're like Cindy, I've been using my phone, I'm ready for the next step, then you want to think about an actual vlogging camera. My favorite is the Canon GS7 Mark II. It looks like this, but why I love it is it has a flip screen, so you can see yourself. You can see, and it's not just about seeing yourself, it's about, am I framed up well? Do I have somebody behind me going like this? You really can't see what you're doing with a traditional camera, but with this one, you can, boy, that screen is dirty. Hang on. One moment, please. We're gonna go to commercial break. We'll be right back. No. So with this one, you can see what you're doing, how you're framed up, what your angle looks like, and this one has a really, really good quality picture, which is nice. So that's one that I like to use. And there's other ones out there. There's a million videos on YouTube. A vlogging camera is expensive. Like, when I bought this, it was around $700. They're now down to around $500, $600 because there's a new one coming out soon. So you should probably know that as well. But this is still a great camera. I've been using it for years. The picture quality is amazing. The sound quality is okay. I'll say if I had one wish on this camera, it was that the sound quality was a little bit better. I'm not using this to make videos in my home studio most of the time. I use my DSLR camera, like Explorer Travel TV Show said, but when I'm on location, there's nothing more lightweight. Like, this guy can literally fit in my pocket. And we have some camera bags we're going to show you here in a second too. So that's the one that I like and prefer. Now, a couple other things that you absolutely have to have in your camera bag. Number one, you got to have backup battery or backup batteries. So of course we always have our charger. We actually carry the charger with us just in case. And then we have, I think, 3 batteries, because these, I mean, I don't know, they go out in a few hours. So, and if you're filming a lot during that time, you can blow through the battery really, really quickly. So having your extra batteries for your camera is really, really important. Oh, and to talk about battery power real quick, back on the phone setup. you, especially if you're like in a place like Disney where you're going from morning all the way to the end of the day, your phone is going to die quickly. You need to have backup battery for your phone. So you're like, do I just bring my charging cable? No, because you don't want to, I mean, you can bring your charging cable, but do you want to sit there while it sits in a plug for 20 or 30 minutes? Not really. So what we like to do is we have two different ones that we kind of rotate out using, and we use them for different reasons. So my first one that I like, I actually got this from T-Mobile. I don't have a T-Mobile phone or an account, but we were having do you guys remember Hurricane Harvey? Hurricane Harvey was coming, and I went out and they were all sold out, and this is all they had, but it ended up being the greatest thing ever because this is my favorite. We have 3 of these for our phone, and literally you just charge them up. But I love them because they're so flat. You can just slide them in your pocket and it feels like nothing, or in your backpack. And because it's flat, it kind of sits really nicely with the equipment. So you just have a cable that attaches to your phone, and you can have your phone with you with the cable attached, and it can be charging. So that's amazing. So I love these little square blocks. I got this a couple years ago. I hope that they still have them. I'm sure that they do out there somewhere. But if not, there's another one that is really cool. I don't know if you guys have heard about fuel rods. There's a glare on that. Let me take this out so you guys can see it. So fuel rod looks like this, and you guys have seen these little chargers that are kind of in the cylinder format. But what is super cool about fuel rod, by the way, it also has all the attachments no matter what kind of device you have. The coolest thing, if you're going to Disney and really places all over the world, if you can find a fuel rod location, and if you are running low on battery, you turn this old one in and they give you a fully charged one. So the Disney parks have several locations, and you can get a map of that. And so what we do is, even if, you know, our the fuel rod still has half of a charge left, right before we leave the park, we swap it out for a full one, and then all day long we have a full battery. So you don't really have to ever stop and recharge. If you go through your first battery, you go through your second battery, you don't have to worry, you can get a full one. So that's a really cool tip I learned from another vlogger, and I love it. So I'm a fan of fuel rod. Right now it's free to swap them out in most parks. I've heard that there might be a charge coming, so definitely check that out to make sure. But also, you can buy this from their site about $5 cheaper than you can buy them. They do sell them in the Disney parks, but they're about $5 cheaper if you get it directly from Fuel Rod, just FYI on that. All right, what else do we have? I have so much good stuff to show you guys today. So I have my, this little guy here, and this doesn't come with me when we go out in the parks, but this is where I keep all my cables. You guys know there's a ton of camera cables, battery cables, cables for, you know, your, all the stuff, extra batteries. When we're traveling, we put them all the cordy stuff in one place. So just pick up a little pouch or something so you can keep all of those odds and ends, and it just keeps everything together so you're not like, where did I leave XYZ? Also, let's see if we have any other treasures in here. Quartz, I have a cough drop in here. Oh, a cleaning screen. That's a good idea for your cameras. I could have used that a few minutes ago. And then we have our caps for our Moments lenses. So good stuff in there. And then I always also, this may seem silly, but I always bring extra scrunchies, because when you're out and you're traveling, pulling your hair back, I know that seems silly. It's a girl thing, but get over it. You need it. Trust me, when you're a girl in the town, you don't have your scrunchies, you're like, oh, I know this one's really important. So if you're going to be going and using a vlogging camera, you need memory cards. So I have whatever you think you're going to need, like buy double, and you can get them on Amazon so much cheaper than if you get into a touristy location. You're going to pay double or even triple the price for your memory card. So we really stock up on these, and I like to use the 64 gigabytes because I never delete my data. I actually keep all of my my memory cards as I fill them up, and then I code them on these. You can buy these for like $5 on Amazon. There's these little plastic cases that you can keep your cards in. Here's an old one. You can see it says WDW from 2000. So this is all of my Walt Disney World from 2017. I back it up on my cloud, but I also have kind of the original copy, and then we're getting ready, right? We're going to have a few for our 2019 trip. So that's the way I like to keep them. And then we have another pouch that we throw them all in when we get home. And then whether we're editing later from the cloud, we have a backup if we need it, if anything ever happens. So I'm really funny about pictures and videos. I like to make sure my stuff is like backed up and everywhere. The other thing that's really great is make sure you bring a couple extra of these in your bag. You can never have enough, because when you get home and you're like, oh, I need to charge the batteries, and then I need to charge the phone, and I need to charge the camera, it can get really like backed up quickly. So I always throw like 5 of these in our bag, so we always have enough. I promised to show you a gimbal. So here's what a gimbal is, a tool that you would use traditionally with your phone. They do have them for cameras too. I want to preface this by saying this is the Zinzu. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. Gimbal, it comes in a little case. When you go to the airport, people are going to think you're a ukulele or a violin player. But this little guy, when you guys see those really smooth videos, that's normally filmed on this guy here. So you can put your phone on here. They have different counterweights and things you can use if you have a heavy phone or phone case. These are a little pricier. You're going to pay $200-300 for a nice gimbal, and there is a learning curve. Like learning how to run it and operate it, it takes a little bit of time. So if you are not into learning new equipment, don't go that route, and it's kind of pricey. So I would say until you're really, you've done your first 20-30 videos, you don't really need it until you really want to take it to that next level. The other thing I always have in my kit is a little notebook, because before I travel, I write down all of the videos. Like I have lists and lists of like potential videos we might make when we go to a particular location. And then when you get there, stuff kind of, gets disorganized. So this helps me stay on track. You could also put it in your phone, but I'm kind of old school. I like to write it when I'm on the plane and all that stuff. Last but not least, I got this cool, this is actually a new one. I haven't used this yet, but I tried it out. This is a little, it's a little, God, isn't it cute? It's so fashionable. It's a little carrier for my camera. So if I don't want to have it in my pocket where the lens could get scratched, it's just a cute little clip-on for the vlogging camera, so you can carry it around your neck and look like an old school tourist. I think that'll be fun. So let me show you our 2 camera bags. Those are the other things. So when I'm going through the airport, this is where I keep all of my camera equipment. This guy right here. So this is my, it's a Kelly Moore camera bag. And inside, it literally is all set up for camera stuff, and it has different pouches. I love that it has like the little section here, also here, and then it has not only a pocket here, but you can zip it in the bottom, so if you want to stick like one of your tripod legs and have the rest of it stick out, it's just a really functional bag. It looks brand new, but I've had it for like 3 years. So when I never check my camera equipment through airport security, it goes with me in that bag, and because it's so heavy, I usually put it in a carry-out and then I wheel it. So that's good. But when I'm out for the day, I use this little guy, and this is on Amazon, I think for like $50, but this is I don't even know what brand this is, but I love this bag because you can access all of your camera stuff, and it has pockets for like your cords and your memory stuff. And what I really love, because especially we do a lot of vlogging in Florida, is Florida rains a lot, and so it has this awesome, where did it go? I had it earlier. Like I know it's in here, there we go. It has a Velcro pouch, and so this little guy actually goes over the whole backpack. So for rain, when it rains, your camera equipment can be expensive if you have a lot of stuff. You want to make sure that that's protected. But what I love most about this bag is I don't carry it. My 10-year-old son, about to be 11, he really totes this whole thing. I don't stock it too crazy full. I mean, he does look like an 11-year-old NFL player, to be fair. He's got some muscles. But it's just it's a one-sided, so it's kind of like, I don't know what they call that, a sling pack, but then it has the extra support. So he loves it, and he has a GoPro, which he can attach here, and then it can record as he goes. So that's kind of a cool bag for that. Now, I just mentioned GoPro, and I want to say, because I get a lot of questions about GoPro on our YouTube channel, I love GoPro. I think it's great, but I want first of all, I started this whole video by saying you don't need all this crazy equipment, right? Hey, Lisa, good to see you. And when it comes to GoPro, a lot of people go, I'm going to go get my GoPro and start travel vlogging. Unless you're really doing like rough terrain or you're doing water type shots, I actually am not a big fan of GoPro for vlogging because the sound is not great and the picture is decent, but it's not going to be like on the vlogging camera that I showed you earlier. So unless you're going to be like strapping it to a helmet, or like my husband sometimes will put it on the thing, but my son likes to put it on the chest thing when he's riding roller coasters. There's a wrist thing you can do, wrist attachment where you can ride down water slides. Unless you're doing like that super active stuff, which I'm not, like I'll strap it to Corin, but I'm not going down the water slide since my accident of 2010 where I got hurt in Alani. That's a whole nother story. I can't tell the story now, but let's just say it ended up with me in one of the little carts like they have at the store and ruined our Hawaii vacation. But that water slide was amazing. So at any rate, it's the GoPro, the quality that you get is not going to be the same. So unless you're going to be working in some of that really adventure stuff, you don't really need a GoPro. They're expensive. They have a lot of attachments. It takes a minute to learn. And the sound quality is never going to be what you get on a better camera because it's made for, resilience. It's made to be protected. So it has those casings on there. So guys, we've gone through so much stuff today. I hope this was helpful as you start to do your putting up your camera kits. Again, I want to encourage you, just start with what you have and you can build one thing here, one thing there, what you think you need to kind of get to that next level. And I also want to say, don't get overwhelmed. The things that people normally struggle with first are, oh my gosh, I'm afraid to get on camera. Oh my gosh. And that's the first piece. The second piece is as you start making videos, video creation is great. I go to VidCon. I work with all these people that learn how to create content. But specifically what I do is I teach people how to put together a video strategy to turn into paying clients for your travel agency. So if you are really looking to take your travel business to the next level and do things like video, this is just one thing that we teach in our multifaceted marketing. If you guys are new, I teach a whole bunch of different marketing that you can do to grow your travel businesses. And this is just one in the pool of what we teach you at our Careers on Vacation Mastermind. So if you are thinking about growing, you want to do some of this innovative stuff that is equaling big, awesome, profitable, portable travel agencies, make sure you apply for our Careers on Vacation Mastermind. You can go to careersonvacation.com/ready now to apply. We do have a limited spots. We keep our class sizes small so we can do intensive stuff like this. I get on a call every single week and help people grow their travel businesses and a whole curriculum and our whole team of experts and all that good stuff. So make sure you do that. Grab a seat in the coming months where we have some left, and we would love to help you grow your travel business. And no matter what, I wish you so much love, so much abundance. I hope you guys enjoyed the show today. If you did, put a little like below, or leave me a comment on what you thought was the coolest thing that we showed today. I love you guys so much. We'll see you next week. Bye, guys.
Meg loves to travel. She's tired of her stressful job and wishes she could have her own travel business. Meg heard travel agents get amazing discounts and work from home or while they travel. This sounds perfect, but Meg has no idea where to start. Meg is worried she will fail because she's never worked in travel, and launching a business is overwhelming. That's when Meg found Careers on Vacation, which taught Meg everything she needed to launch her portable, profitable travel business. Meg got to work with industry expert Cindy Williams and the Careers on Vacation team to launch her travel business in just weeks. Now Meg is helping families book dream vacations, earning amazing commissions, and traveling the world. Meg is so grateful she found Careers on Vacation.
Awesome. So first of all, if you are new to the show, my name is Cindy Williams, and I'm your host. This is Bliss to Abundance, and every week we do a show to talk about different topics, and this week we're talking about the cost of doubt. So we're going to get into that here in just a second. If you don't already know me, there's 3 things you should know about me. I have, besides my family, which of course is my first love, I have 3 major loves. The first one is travel, which you probably know because you're following this channel. And then I love coffee mugs. I have this insane coffee mug collection, so I always bring a coffee mug to show you guys. I know I had this one a couple weeks ago, but we are building a house, so I had to pick like my 10 favorite mugs, and so I'll have more once we get unpacked in the new house in a couple months. The other thing I love is crazy earrings, and in Austin, where I live, there's no shortage of amazing earrings. You guys think I moved here because Austin is a cool place to live, but really it's because of the earring supply. So at any rate, today, I want to dive right in because we have a lot of notes and a big topic, and I know a lot of you are tuning in. We PR'd this session early. If you're rewatching this later, remember you can catch us on Roku, Amazon, YouTube, IGTV, all those cool places, and Amazon Fire on streaming. But you guys are here live right now if you're watching on Facebook. And so if you have questions as we go, or tell me as we're going through what your biggest doubt that you're dealing with in your life right now. So I want to talk about what doubt is really costing you. Let's start there. And I heard an explanation from a yoga instructor just yesterday, and I was like, oh my gosh, that's perfect for the live stream. So I kind of rewrote my notes for today, and I was like, I have to include that. And so I was doing this yoga meditation, and she said, doubt, anxiety, fear, they show up in your core, kind of in your root chakra. They show up in your gut if you're not into chakras. Like they show, and you know what it feels like. It's in your stomach. It feels yucky. It feels gross. It feels uncomfortable. But what she was saying is, she said, in her very, of course she's calm, way more even energy than I am. I'm a little excited, right? But she said, anxiety and fear and doubt, they show up in your root chakra, in your gut for the rest of us, right? Your root chakra, that when you don't trust, they show up when you don't trust that the universe will unfold everything perfectly for you. And I thought, yes, that's it. It's the not trusting of the process. It's the not trusting of the plan. It's the not trusting that everything is going to work out. That is a hard thing for all of us. And so what happens is that manifests into anxiety and yuckiness and tummy aches and should I, could I? And so that's what it feels like. And the problem is, when you're trying to do something big, or you're considering a change, I don't know if you caught, I did an impromptu live stream yesterday with Caitlin, who's on my team, and she just went through this major life shift of moving across the country. And so we were talking about, shifting into her purpose. But the problem with change is, and this came up yesterday, it's never going to feel comfortable. That's why we don't like it. That's why people don't love change, because it doesn't feel good. Hey, Eric. Hey, Tanya. Hey, Stacy. Hey, Kai Ricey. Everyone logging on. You guys tell me. I know no one wants to share first, but tell me, like, what's a big doubt you're dealing with in your life right now? But the thing is about change and making big things happen in your life is like, it never is going to feel good. Like if I try to tell you, oh, it's going to be fine, but like, no, there's stuff you're going to have to work through, shift through. Change is uncomfortable. That's the first thing to know. And it's crazy because my son's learning about butterflies right now in school. And we were sitting on the couch having a little, he's almost 10, and I'm that last 10 minutes of snuggles I'm ever going to get in my life. So every time he's willing to snuggle, I'm like, yeah. So he's like, Mommy, do you know if a butterfly is in its catalyst and you just cut the bottom to try to help it and let it out, that it'll die? It won't make it. And I was like, oh my gosh, that's so sad. Well, and I said, so why do you think that is? And he said, they have to stay in that environment, and then they have to work through being uncomfortable and getting stronger and stronger and stronger. And when they're ready, then it breaks, and then they can be a butterfly. And I was like, this is crazy, because I set the topic for this like weeks ago, and then isn't it funny how like the universe delivers these little jewels? Like, I didn't plan to talk about any of the stuff, but I was like, yes, you have to go through the growth, the uncomfortableness, the getting stronger. So when you do emerge, when you do step into that new life, right, going from a caterpillar to a butterfly, you have to be strong enough. And because it is the process of going through that change, it is the process of going through that uncomfortableness, it is the process that it's hard, is what makes it so beautiful. And what a nice reflection in nature that it does that for us, right? So the way that I kind of look at when I work with my clients and they're like, Cindy, I want to create this type of travel business, or I have this big dream, or whatever's going on, you have two paths that you can go to. And if you're considering a dream, or there's something, maybe it's not travel, but maybe there's a calling on your heart that you know you've wanted to do for years. I talked to a client yesterday, and she's like, Cindy, I have wanted to do this business for 30 years. 30 years she's been sitting and wanting and going back to it and having that calling, and finally she's going to act on it, right? So how awesome is that? But if you have that calling for whatever your thing is, you have two paths you can walk right now. And I want to take like the emotion out of it for a second and walk you guys through like the scenario, like let's roadmap it together. So the first, option you have is, I'm going to go for it, right? I'm going to go for it. So what happens when you go for it is you act on it, right? You take some step forward and you act on moving forward in your purpose. The second choice you have is, I say, you're either going to go for it or you're going to stay in it. Are you going to stay in, that little protective environment? Are you going to stay uncomfortable? Are you going to stay in whatever you're in today? So you either act or you don't act. So you see how we're doing the path here. So road one is I'm going to go for it. I'm going to act on it. Road two is I'm going to stay in it because it feels uncomfortable and I'm not going to act. So two things happen. If you act on it, like I'm not telling you it's going to be easy. You're going to go through change. We just said change is never comfortable. So if you act on it, you're going to have to deal with some of your mindset stuff. It's going to feel uncomfortable at first. It's going to be hard. It's always hard to do something new. And it's going to challenge you, right? You're trying to stretch those butterfly wings. You're trying to break through to evolve and become that next thing. So that's the change path. But if you don't act, what happens? You're going to stay in resistance with yourself. Right? And what does staying in resistance feel like? Kyra has a good one over here. Biggest doubt is that people won't book. I can't see the whole thing here. 1 second. I have people chatting. People won't book in my group if I start one. Yeah, Kyra, but what's the harm in starting one? Who cares, right? Start it. What's the worst that could happen? We'll get to that. But I love it. Thank you for being the first, and let's all give Kira, I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing it right, but I'm gonna give you a round of applause for being the first to do a vulnerable share, because it feels real, right? There's a fear there. So, but if you don't act, so let's go back to the past. Either I'm acting on it, and now I'm walking through, what does it feel like when you don't act and when you stay in resistance with yourself? When you stay in resistance, sometimes it doesn't feel as big as doing the other thing because you're used to it. But what is really staying in resistance with yourself? When you're in resistance, you're generally uncomfortable. There's something else out there, but you're just not doing it. You're just kind of, it's like a slow burn. It's like a slow rub that it's out there. You're feeling uninspired. You're feeling unfulfilled. You're supposed to do something, or there's something that you want to do. It can feel like anxiety. It can feel like boredom. It can feel like burnout because you're doing stuff that doesn't set your soul on fire. It can feel like all of those things. And sometimes it can even show up as sickness, right? That came up on our show yesterday. It can feel like sickness. It can manifest into sickness because if you are constantly doing things that aren't in accordance with what your true life path is, that's your body's way of going, you should be going over here. You should be going, hey, I'm trying to tell you subtly, right? And it's kind of the universe's way of trying to pat you in the right direction. But the only difference, if you're change, you're dealing with, it's uncomfortable, it could be hard, it challenges you. If you're staying in resistance, it's still uncomfortable, you're feeling uninspired, you could have anxiety, you could have sickness. The only difference, guys, and this is if I can get you to get one thing today, because it took me 10 years to get it. It Took me freaking 10 years to get it. But when I did, my entire life changed. The only difference is that you are used to sitting in the shit of resistance. You are used to staying there. You are used to being in resistance. You are used to crappy but comfortable. I'm just going to let that sit there for a second. You guys hear me? Are you feeling me? Are you getting that? So if you're going to be in the crap anyway, right? It's kind of like, you know, realizing you can have a slow uncomfortableness for your whole life and never really go after your purpose, or you can do some stuff that feels hard and uncomfortable in a different way, but you can go towards what your path is. And let me tell you a secret. The minute you act on pursuing your life's purpose, your energy will immediately shift. I'm not saying it's going to be easy. I'm not going to be saying, oh, the flowers are going to bloom and rainbows are going to come and unicorns are going to be in your backyard. But it's not what I'm saying. I'm saying the minute you say, I don't care what else happens in life, I am going after my dream, my thing, whatever I want, you will feel a shift in your energy. And this happens every day when people enroll in our program, because they come and they're like, I want to run this big travel business. And they're like, oh, I'm so nervous. Should I do this? But then the minute they do it, it's like, oh my gosh, I feel so much better. The minute they get on that first call, they're like, oh, it's like a weight is off your shoulders, because it's still a little bit scary, but you know you're stepping into a new reality. You're putting yourself back in the captain's seat and saying, I am the captain of the ship, the painter of my masterpiece, the author of my book, right? You're putting yourself back in that place where you're in charge come hell or high water, right? So it will shift. So here's the thing. I want to tell you why that shift happens. It's because you just flipped from existing to living. Let that sit. Like, you just flipped a switch from existing in whatever, you know, the status quo, the crappy but comfortable, that I'm going to keep doing this because it's better than dealing with uncomfortable change or risking failing, right? You just flipped a switch from existing, going through your day. If you're living the same day and waking up hating your life every day, and Sunday afternoons is like, oh, I gotta go to work tomorrow. If that you're existing to a certain degree. If you're going on vacation to get away from your life, that is existing. It's not living, right? So that's why when you flip that switch, it feels so different. That's why you can shift into something else. I have some more doubts coming in. Cindy, is there a clientele around? Is there what around? Hang on, I need my glasses. 1 second. I see you, Kathy. I hate resistance. Oh, citrine. Yes, my husband got me. I know I normally wear my moonstone. You guys always comment on that. Yes, my husband got me this for Christmas, so thank you for noticing. Michael says, not a doubt, but anxiety starting over rebranding. Yeah, because like Michael's like, how are people going to perceive me? Am I going to lose clients? Is there going to be? So it's that whole, and sometimes I like to say like, most of the things people worry about never happen, right? I'm not saying that's the case, Michael, but that's what it feels like. Like some stuff pops up because you're feeling anxious about shifting and making that change in your business. Eric says, biggest doubt is we don't continue to grow. That is so valid, Eric. That's so valid. And because if you don't grow, you can't support your family and you can't, so that worry sets in. But if you let that fester, right? So, and you guys have started down your path, because I know I've seen Eric on the feeds before. And you know what? It's not Michael, it's Michelle. Sorry. Y'all, I need a new glasses prescription. I apologize. Like, it's like little blurry bubbles. And so I apologize. So, but you guys have started down your path, but even when you make big changes in your business again down the road, you have to go through this same thing of like, why is this resistance coming up? Am I going to sit with this old branding? And am I going to sit and let my business be in status quo? Or am I going to pony up and go, all right? Because this isn't, when you make a big life change and you follow your dreams, like the first thing is making the decision and going your path. But what I'm trying to get you guys to get is like, once it happens and you do this, you have to repeat the process when other stuff comes up to continue to evolve and continue to grow. You know what? First you're a butterfly, and then you're a bird, and then you're a falcon. I don't know what the pecking order would be, but you get the idea. Like, you want to keep evolving. So this process could come up again and again, but the difference is when you're in that driver's seat, when you've made that change in making the switch, it changes everything. So, I'm going to ask you guys a question right now. So like either way, and maybe you're watching this or catching the replay. If you're catching the replay later, put a little CTR so I know you guys are getting value out of this content. But either way, so if you're going to go down path one, which is I'm going to act on what my life's calling or what I'm pulled to do or what's on my heart to move forward on, or you're going to go down path one is act on it, path two is I'm not going to act on it. If either way you end up dealing with crap, wouldn't you rather have a prize at the end? Wouldn't you rather be in the captain's seat? Wouldn't you rather be going after your dreams? So, right, the choice really is like deal with some yuck right now and get your dream and move forward in purpose and intention and start to have that shift of at least feeling better about your direction, or live or deal with a lifetime of yuck if you're going to stay in that crappy but comfortable. So I pose that question because I want you guys to think about this is the real cost of doubt, right? If doubt is keeping you in that crappy but comfortable, you have to recognize, if you can take the emotion out for a moment and think about those two paths, it's the same work either way. If you take a lifetime of crappy but comfortable and compact it, it's probably less work to actually follow your dreams, because at least then the universe is standing up to support you. At least then you're feeling empowered. At least then you're in that place where you're moving forward. And once you see success from that first time, that is when you're like, oh, you know what? Change wasn't so bad. It equaled blah, blah, blah. Right? And then you can repeat that process with the other things like your branding, like starting a group, like growing your business, the things that you guys are telling me on the feed. So that's awesome. So I'm going to give you guys some tools now. Like you're having this difficulty. What are some things that you can do to start to mediate that process of change not feeling so bad? Because that's the thing. Like, yes, it's going to be work. And yes, like I said, change is never comfortable, but there are some things you can do to ease your path. So the first is accept that change and feeling uncomfortable is part of the process. You're in the butterfly thing, right? Like that is part of the process of growing, of growth, of evolving. So accept that is normal. I've run 3 businesses now, right? Grown them all to big sizes. I didn't just go, fly open my doors and people were running in, throwing credit cards at my face. No. Mistakes happened. I spent money where I shouldn't have. I did things I wasn't supposed to. I did all the mistakes so you guys don't have to. If it's a travel business, right? Other businesses, not so much. But if it's a travel business, I know it works because I went through the painful process of figuring it out. So you have to know that it's going to be an evolution process. So accept that change and feeling uncomfortable is just going to be part of your journey as an entrepreneur or as a person living life, right? If you're not willing to get uncomfortable, you're never going to grow. Like you're not going to grow your wings, right? That's the prize. You get your wings at the end because you push through, because you evolve, because you got stronger. So let me give you some coping tools though, as you're going through this difficult change. The first one is your mindset. And I know I drill this down with you guys all the time. And there is a reason why mindset is the first thing we talk about in our Careers on Vacation Mastermind. Because if you get this part right, you won't just have a successful business, you'll have a successful life because you can reuse those tools. And when people are going through massive change and they're growing huge travel businesses, or you're making big change in your life, as you're going through that process, having tools to support a positive mindset, having people that have a similar mindset in your circle, those are things that will escalate you being more successful faster. I always say my job is to make you the most amount of abundance in the least amount of time. And putting mindset in the program happened years ago because I realized really quickly, like, if people don't get that part, it's like I can give them all the marketing, all the automation, all the, sales tips, all of the tools and tricks and tips and all of that stuff. I can give you the technical how to set up an agency and how to grow. I can tell you and give you all those things. But if you don't believe it, if you don't get inside of what your unique vision is for your life, then it'll still happen, but like it's a slower burn, right? So if I can get people's mindset tied in with now here's all the roadmap to success, it's like a frickin', putting lighter fluid on the fire. Boom, right? So mindset, what can you do about your mindset today. The next one is trust. You got to trust. It's like the yoga lady, and her name's Ashley Turner. If you guys have Gaia on Roku or Amazon or any of those, she does just quick little 5-10 minute meditations. Check her out. And I don't remember, she only has like 5 or 6, I think, loaded on Gaia. Gaia is the network, by the way, the channel, or the network channel. And she has some great meditations, but that's what she was talking about. She's like, you're not the reason. I'll try to do my best, Ashley, hear her voice. The reason you're feeling anxiety and stress and, you're feeling uncomfortable is because you're not trusting that the universe is going to provide everything you need to whatever, right? So it's getting into she's getting you to root yourself to go, you gotta trust. Like you have to have a little bit of trust that when you're stepping towards your life's journey or your life's path, that you are going to be supported, that the mentor you need is going to show up, that the technology you need is going to show up, that the people you need to meet that are going to book vacations from you or whatever your life dream is, they're going to show up. You got to have some trust on your path. So that's the second one. And then the last one is meditation. If you really, really struggle with this, and I've had people that have gone through my program that they are in the middle of divorces, they have lost spouses, they have lost children, and they are going through a major life change, and it wakes them up to, it's my time, right? And so unfortunately, sometimes those harsh events are a catalyst for getting you on your life path, but either way, I've had people that struggle really, really deeply with this change. And if that's you and you hold a lot of anxiety and you hold a lot of stress and you hold a lot of that crappy but comfortable stuff, meditation is a great way. And you can go to iTunes and download the ones you listen to at night. You can go to Gaia and you can, do the yoga ones, whatever your thing is. But if you've never done it before, meditation really changed my life. Like about 6 months before I started working through my big shifts of letting my other super successful business go because I didn't love it anymore and moving 100% into travel, I had to meditate because I had a panic attack. I went to the hospital and I was like, I got to change something in my life. Like I'm a type A, right? So I think I can go, do, everything will be fine. And my body was like, whoop, it broke down. And I thought I was having a heart attack. And we were in the ER till like 3 a.m. And my doctor's like, do you have a lot of stress? And I'm like, no. And my husband's like, oh my gosh, she takes on so much stress and she doesn't realize it. But my body shut down. So after that, he's like, look, you can take these pills or you can meditate or you can, have half a glass of wine here and there. So for me personally, there's nothing wrong with medication. But for me personally, I was like, I want to try to do this on my own first. And I started with meditation. And if I needed to, I had a half a glass of wine, right? And it really changed my life to just getting into that trusting place and rooting my emotions. And so I could make that big shift and change. So there's a reason you guys are on this call today. I hope you're thinking about what is the real cost of doubt on your life. And these are questions that I want to ask you. Is doubt costing you your dream? Is your dream dying? Are you existing and not living? Is that the cost of doubt for you? Is staying in resistance causing you to get ill like it did for me, right? Is that on Sundays? Are you like, is every Sunday, 52 of your Sundays ruined because you have to go to something you don't want to do on Monday? That's a big cost. Think about that time-wise. My husband was saying that the other day. He's like, man, I used to be like Sunday at 3 o'clock would hit and I would be like, whir, like the cloud of having to work. Is it costing you every Sunday? Is it costing you time with your kids? Is resistance costing you what your children are learning from you? Someone said that to me when I was going through my shift. They said, what do you think your kids will learn if you follow your dreams? And I was like, oh boy, because I was like, follow your dreams, kids, right? But what am I modeling? Kids don't do what you tell them. They do what you model, right? My daughter was on a live stream a couple months ago and we just did it live. Like I didn't ask her questions ahead of time. And she's like, it's just different now. Like it's a whole new mommy. You have time for us now. And it used to be you would come home and you'd be stressed out and you'd be tired and we didn't get to spend time with you. And now I'm not afraid to follow my dreams because, and I was like, success, even whatever happens with me, fine. But if that's the one thing that I pass on to my children, awesome. And the other thing I want to say, guys, is it is never too late. It is never too late. You know, my purpose in life is to inspire and motivate people to follow their bliss to abundance. That's why I titled the show Bliss to Abundance. But as a coach, mentor, motivational speaker, my job is to like shake your shoulders in a very lovingly way. But I want to wake you up. I want to wake you up to your purpose. I want to wake you up to your mission. I want you to take a first step somewhere. So listen, whatever your thing is, I want you to think about, what is doubt costing me? Why am I not going down the path? You know, the path of least resistance is actually more painful, right? Take the path of making a little bit of change and get back in the driver's seat. And listen, if starting, I don't know how you found this, you know, you might have found us on Roku or Amazon, maybe you're watching it on the Travel Channel, I don't know, YouTube, whatever. If starting or supersizing your travel agency is your thing, you should definitely be applying for our Careers on Vacation Mastermind. And it's so much more than a travel school, right? We're teaching you how to supersize your travel business, but this mindset stuff, it is all the way through the program, because I need you to get that so you can get results. The reason we have a zillion positive reviews, go out and check YouTube, is because we get people to shift their mindset, and then they can do all the technical stuff we teach them, the automation, the growth techniques, the how to monetize their business, all that stuff comes. But guys, I hope this was helpful for you today. I see, you know, thank you for those of you who are being brave with your questions too. I'm going to peek at these real quick. And while I'm pulling these up, careersonvacation.com/ready now. I always forget to say that, but that's the link if you guys want to apply for the program or to work with me directly. I lost my comments. Hang on, I'm going to find them. All right, Marcy says, I'm awake. Yes, Marcy's on my team, and she's actually one of our mentors in the program. So she's one of our awesome coaches. Today, love this today. So many times we're our own worst enemy. That is so true. Eric says, if you're stuck in your head, you can doom yourself. 100%. Absolutely. Wendy says, just scrolling through, and wow, your passion caused me to pause. I know. Is it the hands? Is it the crazy hands? Yeah, I love that. So someone else had some doubts in here. I wanted to keep in mind, guys, we're on all these platforms. So sometimes it lets me see these quotes and sometimes it doesn't. It's only letting me see like the last 4 or 5. So I'll go back and I'll drop you guys a little line later. And listen, if you didn't catch the whole thing, remember you can catch us on all the places. Roku, Amazon is where the show streams live. It takes a few weeks delay, but YouTube, it will be on this afternoon. I'm going to push it over to our Careers on Vacation group in Facebook, which, by the way, if you're an aspiring travel professional, definitely request to join to our group. That's where we put a lot of our cool exclusive content. And guys, I'm going to be in Florida in a few weeks. I'm going to Florida for a month because our awesome travel agency business allows us to do that. Me and my husband work full-time in our travel business. So we're going to be streaming from Florida. Get excited. But thanks for tuning in today. I love you guys. Get out there and get after your dream. You got this. I promise you got this. We'll talk soon. Bye, guys.